So thank you everybody for joining this webinar on cloud ERP and then specifically on the topic project management and then based on Financial Force as a solution. We will host this webinar together, me and Iris. So me, Gurjan, Iris will take the second part to actually also give a demonstration from the platform itself, so you can actually see how it works in practice. Also, please, if you have any questions along the way, type it in the chat. Maybe we go a bit too fast here and there, and we don't want you to lose track of what we try to explain. So please don't wait for all your questions at the end. We can make it pretty interactive. Just to understand, so audio is good, and share screening is also good for everybody. If no comments, then I will proceed. Yeah. All right. So what we will cover now is the short introduction about Cloud Team a bit and Financial Force. Then covering a bit on what is Cloud ERP based on the Salesforce Financial Force setup. Then specifically covering the topic on project management solution based on Financial Force. Then we will have the short demonstration, and there's some room for questions and answers. Okay, so for people who do not know yet Financial Force as a company, Financial Force is created in 2009, covering over 1,000 customers worldwide, headquartered in San Francisco, and having offices in the UK and Europe as well. One of the best things is that it is native on the Salesforce platform. So if you are already a user of, let's say, the Sales Cloud or the Services Cloud, it integrates natively. Cloud ERP, as delivered by Financial Force, is covering the areas around accounting, so finance and accounting, HR, professional services automation to the full extent, up to inventory control. You can see it listed down here. So it's not just a simple app; it's really a huge stack of solutions built on the Salesforce platform and all bundled together as the Cloud ERP solution. Now, who's then Cloud Team? We are founded in 2014. We've now grown to 18 experts. We're headquartered in the Netherlands. We also have our Apex Development Center in Eastern Europe, Belarus to be more specific, and we have now just set up our Financial Services Center in Pakistan, and working on the setup of another office in the US to cover also all the time zones. And we've done already implementation around the globe, which is pretty cool, that we have South America and Africa and Asia all around to deliver the projects to our clients. Now, the services that we do really ranging from cloud ERP strategy and digital transformations down to, let's say, the specific implementation of the solutions, like PSA. Well, for Financial Force, we are the preferred implementation partner. And then one of the reasons is that we started from scratch with one focus, and that is implementing Financial Force. Now, this is an overview of our experts and still growing. We expect to grow over 20 consultants by the end of 2018. And with the short cycle of the implementation of the projects, we can really cover a huge amount of implementations with this team. So, having said, up to now, we have been doing 23 finance and accounting implementations, HR4, PSA 7, CRM, so the Sales Cloud 5, and supply chain management 6 in total. Next to the implementation of the modules of Financial Force, we are also developing apps to further enhance the system setup. So in areas, and then maybe specifically for Europe, we have built the app around the bank integration, the SEPA integration, but also an additional app like the payable invoice scan app, which at the end makes your whole process even more easy to use. And let's say specific applications like intercompany cost allocation and an integration between sales and marketing from a process point of view. Right, Cloud ERP with the Salesforce Financial Force setup. Cloud ERP, it's kind of a big word, a buzzword. So what does it mean in our opinion, but also from Financial Force, is that you are able to put your customer in a central spot, as you see in the picture. So you really can follow through the whole sales cycle, going down to setting up your project, then having your resources staffed, do the time writing, and eventually do your billing out and having your revenue recognition in place. So it's really running the full cycle of your business process on the same platform. Now, since it is the same platform, all data is stored in that same database, and you can imagine that you can always find your information about your customer, the latest and greatest updates from services, sales, and to the project status. And that is, the true benefit of using the Salesforce platform in combination with Financial Force. Now, the PSA module is also recognized as such in the market. There's a pretty good independent organization looking at, let's say, who is a major player in this area. So you can see here by G2 Crowds in winter 2017, it has been recognized not only because of the users making very positive comments about PSA for project management as part of it, but also the market share, the skill itself, the global support it can deliver, and the resources that can actually deliver the implementations. So it's one of the best examples of what you can start using next to your sales and services cloud, moving in your optimizing your business process. Just to highlight a couple of features then on PSA, so professional service automation, the module which will be used then for project management. So one is you really go easily from opportunity to project. So you have a very, very good integration with your sales teams working together. One click, you're converting your opportunity to project. So no retyping of sales information. Secondly, very easy to do your resource planning and allocation. And at the end also in your project, a combination of having milestones on fixed price and milestones on time and material that can all work together, as shown in this easy example. So you could have a business process redesign workshop, which is then fixed price in your proposal. For instance, delivering your hardware, another fixed price element is then simply and very simple to bill out. And then you move on and doing implementation, configuration, and acceptance testing, and that is then all based on time and material. For instance, in your project, with multiple tasks and also multiple roles, multiple people associated with the implementation, and that can all work seamlessly together. Okay, so if we go and look at a bit of an overview process before we eventually dive into the demonstration itself. So hopefully that gives you the bigger picture. What we try to explain how it works. So one of the best things, like I said earlier, is that it has a very good follow through from sales to your project. So if you are in your sales process and you are bringing out your proposal, so it's not yet a closed one, you can already, let's say, do your resource requests. So your organization knows there is a proposal in the pipeline with a fair chance of getting it closed, getting it in a closed won stage. So you can do your resource request, and HR, for instance, can already allocate or look at the right people to staff. You do simply your resource request, like a project manager, business analyst, configuration specialist, developer, etc. Now, once the sales is closed, so it's a closed one, then I think this is one of the main benefits of the system. You can, with one click, you can create a project out of your opportunity. So you go seamlessly in your whole process flow. You don't have to think about how to, one click and you have your project. And that includes then, let's say, already the milestones that were identified in your proposal, with the example of a business process redesign workshop that is automatically pulled in as a milestone, and once completed, it can also be built out. So really avoiding a lot of manual typing, a lot of work that you have to do otherwise in duplicate, all automatically done. Now, of course, in the PSA module, you have everything you would like to have from a project management perspective in a dashboard. So really about what are all your projects about. So it's almost on a program management level. And everything is flexible and can be configured exactly according to your desires and your organization. And of course, the ability to track your project financials. So your revenue against your actual cost and margins. And this is really nice, and you see that later down the road if you do your invoicing, and you can actually see if your customer actually paid that bill of milestone 1. It all comes back to your same dashboard in one go. So you really have your real-time dashboarding on your financials. Now, also for people that are allocated to your project, which are assigned to your project, for them it's again very easy to do their hour registration, simply going in the system, logging their hours, but also have the ability to copy from the previous week, for instance. And you see also at the bottom, up front, you have scheduled certain hours for a person that can also be adjusted. So it works seamlessly in your whole project setup. Now, the same with expenses. In the same system, you enter your expenses in an easy way. You can also use a mobile app to do so for expense, but also for your time writing. So it gives, let's say, your staff resources all the flexibility to do their administration spot on right. Well, then, of course, we go to the project billing part. So you are in your project, you have completed a first milestone signed off by the client. Then with one click, you can actually create the invoice out of your project. Makes it very easy to make sure that the financial part is done correctly. So if you hit the button, create the invoice, it will automatically create the invoice that can be emailed to your customer with this example. And once paid, you will also see the customer status. So maybe they have multiple projects running for that client, but on your project in that customer, you can actually see what the status is, and if there's any days outstanding on your specific invoices from your project, for instance. All right, so that gives kind of the brief overview of how your process can run. Again, just to summarize, from sales, working on opportunities, and they do their resource requests. Once your opportunity is closed, so the sales is closed, it will automatically be converted into a project. In the project itself, very easy to staff your people, have them write hours, expenses, do your project management activities via the Gantt chart, having your dashboards, having your financial insights, and the ability to send out your invoices from the same platform. So you are in full control as project manager from left to right to manage your projects. And this is what we see in practice, is adding a tremendous amount of value. Now, these were just a couple of screen dumps. Now, for the sake of the demo, I would like Iris to switch the screen and then go into a real life short demonstration of the system itself. And Iris, do you already?
Yes, thank you, Gert-Jan. Can you make me a presenter?
Yes. Right now, make presenter. You can switch now to your system.
Yes. Thanks. Hi everyone, my name is Iris. I'm a PSA consultant for Cloud Team for over 3 years. And I would like you to show some things that we've implemented ourselves as a service company in our PSA org. And we,
Iris,
yes,
I'm still looking to the screen of Gert-Jan, so I'm not
okay.
sure if you have already shared your screen. Yeah, this is better.
Yeah, can you all
Thanks.
see my screen?
Yeah,
Okay,
thanks.
thanks for the heads up. Yeah, so I would like you to show some smart things that we've added into our own org and how we use PSA as Cloud Team. Of course, a lot more is possible, and I hope Gert-Jan already, well, you got some idea from the slides that Gert-Jan showed on expenses and project billing, revenue recognition. I won't show all that, but I will show just a basic process with some smart enhancements that we did to the standard PSA rollout. So I would like to start with the customer. Today, everyone starts to move to an everything as a service economy. So customer relationships are getting more and more important. So that's why I would like to start with the customer in PSA. We're still in Salesforce PSA. So from this view, I can see this customer Camacho BV. From this overview, we can directly see that this customer has 2 running opportunities, of which one has actually been won, and one is in the stage negotiation review. We can also see that there's a active project going on for this customer, and this customer also has a sales invoice, an outstanding sales invoice. So from the customer perspective, we can right away see opportunities, projects, sales invoices, but also payable invoices if you integrate it with accounting. You can have open cases if you have the Service Cloud, for example. So everything is involved around the customer. But for now, I would like to dive into the opportunity because this is where our sales starts. So we have this opportunity. It's called an implementation financial force PSA for this customer. And my sales is working on this opportunity. Then at a certain stage in this opportunity, he would like to do a reservation of a certain role. So he knows I need this and this consultant or this project manager on this project that's not been closed yet. But in order to do a good capacity forecasting, I can easily make a reservation for this role. Well, we have decided to use quick actions for this in Salesforce. This is a nice feature when you're using Salesforce Lightning. And it's really by a click of a button that you can create a resource request in this case. So what you would do, we select a role, and in this case, I want to reserve a project manager. I can enter a certain amount of hours that I will need this project manager for, and it directly copies the start and end date from my opportunity. So let's say I want to reserve 100 hours for this project manager. And as you can see, this resource request, I already created one, but if it has added a project manager resource request role for 100 hours to this opportunity. So if I scroll down and look to the opportunity, I can see some log details. I think this project will start from the 3rd of September, and it will be around a 3.5-month project. And here I can see my budgeted hours for the product. So I've attached my products to this opportunity. And in this case, it's I've included 600 consultancy hours, and I've included a fixed price workshop because our projects always start with a business process review workshop in which we will sit down with the customer, discuss their business processes, and see where we can make some improvements and how we will implement PSA or FFA. So it is a fixed price workshop, and we guessed that we need around 600 hours of consultancy services. I have created 2 resource requests, which in total add up to 600 hours, and I can see the difference in here. So from this overview, you can see that I've budgeted 616 hours because I still have the workshop open, and I've reserved around 600 hours. So from this overview, we know as a sales that we will need to create another resource request for those 16 hours, and I will select a business analyst for the workshop. I can change the date because it doesn't need to be the entire, it doesn't need to be involved on the entire project, and I'll select save. So this is how you can really quickly create these resource requests by just a click of a button and entering the amount of hours that you will think you need for this upcoming project. And from this resource request, management can easily do run reports on capacity forecasting. So you have a good overview per month per role on what are your available hours and what are your remaining capacity hours. So you can see if you have enough resources or if you need to recruit some more consultants or project managers in the upcoming months. So that's why we advise to always, if a sales knows what kind of resources he will probably need on this project, just by a click of a button, create some resource requests, and you will have a good capacity forecasting. Then some other things that we've done in our own org is we've automated the process of an opportunity to a project completely. So we have this opportunity with 2 products attached. One is a fixed price and one are some consultancy hours. And we have this resource request. Once this opportunity has been won, so I will mark this stage as complete. I will say it's a closed won opportunity. It will automatically create this project for us and copies over all the information from the opportunity to a project. So now you can see that there's actually a project attached. I just switched the stage from negotiation to closed won. So let's have a look at the project that has been created. So right now I'm on my project. I've won the opportunity and my project has been created. You can always go back to the opportunity. There will always be a link between the opportunity and the project. From this project, we can see that there's also a budget being created, and this budget was based on our opportunity amount. And since we had a product which was a fixed price part in our services project, which was our workshop, it has also created a milestone. And a milestone in PSA is used for fixed price parts that you want to bill as a one-off. So this is we have a workshop which is still in planning status for 2,000 euros. And then it has copied over our resource request because the resource requests that we've created from the opportunity haven't been changed. They're copied over to the project, and now a staffer can come in, can have a look at the resource request, and can do this staffing process where you will look for persons or for matching resources with the roles and assign them directly to the project. What we've done is, since our projects are, well, 99% of the time based on the same project task, we have automated the creation of project tasks. You can also take a templated approach that PSA offers. So if you have certain projects, certain different types of projects with the same set of tasks, you can select the template and it will, based on the template, roll out these tasks for you. Since we, well, basically 99% of the time run the same project task, we have just automated it with a simple flow. There's no coding used for this, and we've created a certain set of standard project tasks, which 99% of the time we don't have to change. I'll take you to a project that I've already created up front, and there are actually some activities already going on in this project. So this is another project that I've created, an implementation Salesforce, and it's already in the maintenance stage. So from the project itself, we can look back at the opportunity. There's a project manager assigned, and we also have some nice reports from from the time cards that are attached to the project, for example. So what we can see here is our actuals and our estimates. So once you assign people to a project based on a certain hours, it will create this report. So what we can see here in this report is that in August, for example, we have an estimate amount of hours from around 150 hours. And we can see that actually in this month, already around 100 hours have been logged to this project. So from this report, project managers can easily do some project steering and see if there will be right within budget in those months. Another useful report that we've created that we would like to use on the project is billings. So we can see here in August we have 12K of available amount, and as long as this project proceeds, it will include other months, and we can see over the months what kind of billings we have done for this project. Another nice feature of PSA is the project planner for this project. So as a project manager, I would like to see what kind of resources are actually staffed on my project by the staffer, and I can make some changes in their schedule. So from the project, you can go into the project planner, and in this project planner, I can right away see which resources are staffed on my project for how many hours by week. You can also switch it by day, for example. And you can make changes to their schedule. So if the project has been delayed, for example, or if a certain the project has been on hold, I can easily change the schedule by selecting, and I can say, okay, this project has been on hold for a week, and I will add the remaining hours and extend the project. Then I would like to show you how you can log time to a project. So as a consultant, I will log into the system and I will open up my time entry screen. And from this time entry, I can see also my schedule. So I have my project planner on the one hand, but I can also see my schedule for my time entry view. So what we do as consultants of Cloud Team Company, we will see our schedule in our time entry screen. And most of the time our schedules are our schedules represent the amount of hours that we worked. So what I can do is I can select the schedule that I want to copy, and I can just say, okay, copy my selected schedule. And I will right away copy my schedule. Then I can select the task that I've worked on for that week. So for example, I worked on my deployment. And I can also attach some notes. But this is a very, very easy way in which consultants can, by just, clicking or selecting the schedule and clicking copy selected schedules, easily lock their time cards. And I can, of course, if I want to make some changes, I can select some changes. Then I can submit my time card, and it will go into this approval process for approval. And if approved, then it will reflect on the project in the actual. So we can see that there are actual hours, and we can include it in our billing. So I will go back to my project. So we have some time cards attached to this project, and we have our milestone. And now I want to do some project billing. So I want to invoice my customer. And I actually want to invoice my workshop because my workshop have been passed, and I want to create some invoices based on time cards. So what I will do, I will set this milestone to approved. And the actual date is today. So this workshop has been done, and now I want to invoice my customer. What I will do is I will click on project billing, and from this overview, I can see that I have 2 time cards that are ready for billing, and I have 1 milestone that I can bill. So I will select both. And I will click on generate billing events. And now I will prepare my sales invoice to this customer with, on one hand, a fixed price part, and on the other hand, 2 time cards that I wanted to invoice. Now let's prepare my invoice. And if integrated with accounting, it will right away go to your accounting and will create the sales invoice and create a booking. So I will say release. This invoice has been really approved. We have some approval flows going on in our system. Has been stuck. Yeah, sorry. And from here, my finance department can pick it up and can say, okay, create this sales invoice. And they will actually invoice my customer with this fixed price part, which is the workshop, and these 2 time cards, which is a time and material. Okay. It needs to think a bit. Okay, let me go. Back to my project. Sorry. So from my project, I can now see that there's actually a billing event created with this amount, so the time cards and my workshop. And when I go back to my project actuals, I can actually see that there's 14,000 euro billed against my budget of 26,000 that was being created for my opportunity amount, and I have a 10,000 euro margin. So this was just a short and quick overview of some smart enhancement that we've done in PSA from the opportunity to a project, automating it, creating milestones automatically, and doing the resource request through quick actions on the opportunity to be able to do capacity forecasting. So Gert-Jan, if you want to pick up, I will stop sharing my screen and you can bring back the PowerPoint.
Yeah, if it won't crash. All right. We're all good. Okay, so thanks, Iris, for giving the live insights. So looking at the time, yes, my question is: are there any specific questions from people who joined the webinar on what we just showed? So it's time for some questions and answers right now.
I have a question. How easy is it to customize the app?
The PSA application or the mobile?
Yeah. No, just the application, because I see, for example, I miss some fields. Can I add some fields? Can I modify page layouts, or is it completely closed?
No, it's completely flexible. So completely flexible in configuration, including data fields or excluding them. You can start simple, and by excluding a lot of fields and then later on adding and adding. You can customize it. You can actually develop your tools that you like on the platform. Maybe Ardish, for you, something to comment as well?
Yeah, the enhancement that I created were actually really easy. I think I spent in total 1 day to prepare the entire environment. And I don't have a developing background, so this is just something that is, your system administrator, if you have a Salesforce system administrator, can easily do. So it didn't involve any coding or Financial Force always says we use clicks, not code. So the customization that you've seen were really easy.
Perfect. Another question I have, I see an integration between opportunities, a project, and an invoice. Can I also say, okay, I don't want to make use of the opportunities, just projects, or projects and invoices, or is it a fully integrated package you need to start using?
No, you don't need to. No, you can use every module on itself. So if you don't have, let's say, the Sales Cloud, then you just focus on PSA module for your project management. You can still then also create the billing events out of your project, and those billing events can then also be exported to another finance and accounting system that you might have, if you don't have the finance and accounting or Financial Force. So it can really work on itself as a full working professional services automation module.
Okay, and for integration with other financial packages, is there anything available, or that needs to be built? Or
then it works on an export mechanism. So, for instance, to Exact.
Just an export.
Yes. So the billing event itself can then be used as the export data set, so to say, and it can then be imported in other systems.
Okay, so no standard connectors with Unit4, Exact, or whatever.
Yeah, it is in the way like this. It is standardized. So it's a standard XML going out based on the billing event. That can be one-to-one be let's say imported in the other platforms that you use. That is, in majority of the cases, it is the case. So many customers using PSA, they don't automatically use FFA. For them, sometimes it's just a roadmap. They start with PSA, and then later in time, sometimes 1-2 years later, they also then start adding the finance and accounting module. And every module is a project on itself. So literally, it's a roadmap that clients follow.
Okay, thanks.
And maybe then the question: what is the finance system that you currently use?
I'm not using any finance system. I'm a consultant. I'm working with multiple customers doing Salesforce projects.
Yeah.
So I'm running into questions from my customers regarding project management and the billing side of it. So that's the reason why I asked for it.
Okay. Well, then if you are involved in Salesforce implementation, what we see naturally, most clients, they start with CRM, the Sales Cloud. Sometimes they start with the Services Cloud. That is predominantly what we start working with. So then it is very easy to have PSA connected, because, like you saw in the demo, you go easily from opportunity to your projects. And there's a lot there. Yeah.
But I also think there is a possibility just to use this for a Salesforce implementation project, because that's where a lot of projects are lacking from a budget and invoicing point of view. So include it in your org and use it during the implementation of actually Salesforce or Service Cloud, whatever you're doing, because there are not that many project tools to support this piece.
No, indeed, that's correct. Okay. Any other questions from people in the call? Okay, then maybe a question back. What we try to demonstrate in this setup, did it meet your expectations, or is there something that you missed and you still would like to see? Because we still have some time to show maybe some additions.
Is it? I have a question on integration with the CPQ model. The products that are chosen in CPQ, for example, on the CRM side, how to set it up in a quotation and get a billing from that side?
Yeah, that's indeed it's a good question. It's a natural integration. So the module CPQ, natively working in conjunction with let's say the opportunity part, and then all then let's say then reverts back to setting up your project. We had a separate webinar already on CPQ to billing, so we can also send a recording. But to answer your question, yes, it works seamlessly together.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Gert-Jan, it's Nev. Just have a quick question regarding generation of assignments, because I think it was a great demo by Iris, by the way. I just wanted to know how easy it is to kind of generate the assignments based off the tasks, or do you not link them to the tasks?
Okay, well, maybe a good question for you, Iris, to answer.
Yes, yeah, it is very easy to connect them to tasks. What I can do is I can also quickly show it to you. It is kind of freestyling, but whatever. Can you make me a presenter again, Gert-Jan?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm back on my project. I'm sorry, it's just loading the page.
You can see the screen, right? Of Iris?
I can, yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so what I didn't show you in the demo was the project task Gantt. And this is an overview of my tasks. And I can, right now, what we do, because we don't really work with the project task, but we do want researchers to allocate hours spent on tasks. So we just roll out every task for the entire duration of the project. But what you can do, you can create relationships between them or dependencies. And that's really by dragging and dropping. So you can, for example, drag and drop the tasks. And an assignment of a resource to a task is actually by just selecting the task and then searching for the resource that you want to assign, and it's assigned to this task.
Okay, that's great. Well, what I was asking is because I noticed you just in your time in the time card app, you just time entry section, you just managed to kind of select the task without actually doing the step, and that's what I wanted to ask. Yeah, that's very
no, how we what we did is we want people to select the task that they've spent their time on, but we don't actually assign people to tasks internally.
Okay.
Yeah, just because we don't do this project managing on the project task itself. But you can definitely do that. Like Gert-Jan explained in the slides, PSA is really, really extensive. You have lots of functionality, and we just use a small part of it because we are a small company using PSA. In that way.
No, that's great. That makes sense. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, you're welcome. Any more questions?
I have a question. For the tasks underneath the projects, can we also define a separate budget for the tasks itself? And use those budgets while we are doing some progress.
Yeah, what you most of the time do is you would assign a certain estimated hours to tasks, and while people log time against tasks, you can measure the estimated hours on tasks and the actual hours spent on tasks. So what I've shown in the report on the project was the whole project overview, but you can also create this report on tasks. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Any more questions? Okay, so if there are no more questions for now, it's always possible to follow up, let's say, on this webinar. If you would like to see, let's say, a more extensive demonstration, for instance, or an extensive use case, then we will share, let's say, the recordings of this webinar to you, and you can always reply with this request. We're happy to do so. It's it's a really great module, and adding so much fun for people to eventually work with it and ease up their way of working. That we are happy to show many more cases. So then I would say thanks for all joining this webinar, and I would like to wish you a very good working day, and hopefully we stay connected.
Thank you. Bye.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.